Hello and welcome to our next unit 6, assignment number 1 with Professor Caribbean. My name is Surel Tanlaka and I will be presenting to you my work that I have for this assignment. So in this unit, we are dealing with the network data sets. And I'm going to start by looking at the two data sets that I have for this assignment. So I have two data sets sources. One is the network 2, then the other one is the network 3. So basically from what we saw in the chapter reading, explaining what the nodes are, which is just an individual and its device used for connection, could be Cypher with an iPhone and whatnot. And then you also have the relationship node number, as well as the x and y coordinates that we use to map them in the graph. And then between it just shows the level of involvement of connection that this particular node will have to the rest of the edges within the graph. And that can indicate the level also of cyber threat to that particular node. Alright, so let's take a look at the first graph here. I'll go ahead and take out the filter so we can see that this has so many nodes that are interconnected, and you can see some of the nodes run across the organization from one end to the next without passing through all these other color-coded nodes in red. And these ones I color-coded them these colors because they are a cybersecurity threat to this organization. If you look at the betweenness, you're going to see they actually have a higher betweenness than these other nodes here in the green. The higher betweenness means that they have a higher connectivity, as I would put it, to other nodes within the organization, which means that if one of these nodes go down, a lot of people will be impacted, and this will stand as a cybersecurity threat to this organization. So the organization will have to be mindful of this threat, because anything that happens here, a lot of people will be impacted. Now let's go and look into the next graph for network number 3, so we can start understanding the differences between them and see which one is at more risk. So this one, as you can see, is a straight left up and down with two major nodes that are connecting the rest of the organization. So this one, if you look also, you see that between its values are higher here than the rest of them, and these two actually, they are major bridges within this organization. Anything that goes wrong with this node, if this node goes down, that means this part of the organization is completely dissociated from the other part. So as well as here, if something goes wrong with this node, the rest of the organization on the upper side is completely dissociated from this. So these are very huge cyber threat to this organization. And then looking into the dashboard, so we can actually compare them. So you see that these major nodes, this organization is more vulnerable than this one, because if anything happens to these two nodes, the organization is completely cut off from the network. Whereas this network 2 here, the organization could still be partly functional with some of these threats down. So this particular network 3 is more at risk than network number 2. And then the recommendation would be for an organization to thrive within the mix of high cybersecurity threats. A more network like this is more stronger, or maybe can stand the chance of survival in case of an imminent attack to the organization. Whereas a company like this one will completely shut down until the threat is eliminated. And then I also put that in a story, so just bring in all the different graphs